And we're back here in the office space where I usually make my videos. I hope you enjoyed that little prelude to our March of the Mammoths Big History Books edition. Yes, again, so apologies for being a week late. We're already a week into March, but knowing all of my friends out there, all my viewers, you guys just love to see books and you love to get ideas for reading. And this is what this video is. I haven't read all these books, but I've heard good things about many of them. I've dabbled in a few. I've begun things and I haven't finished yet. That's just the way it works here. When most of my time now is the reviewing that I do. So, but I do want to get to these books, and I plan on it. And that's the beauty of having a home personal library, is I curate it for books I know I want to keep. And then as I read them and go through them, a lot of the books that I have here are books I have read and loved, and I keep them. There have been books that I've read, I'm like, and I've gotten rid of them or donated them. But anyway, these are books that I know I want to get to, and they just deserve a place on my shelf. So, having said all that, what do we have here for you today? So, as I said in the beginning, from the location downstairs, and I only browsed that wall and part of this wall. I have many more books that are over 800 pages, but I just couldn't haul them all. And plus, they would make this video really, really long. There were a lot of books I wanted to include that were just shy of 800. Now, I know I said in the prelude I would include those, but then again, this video would be twice as long. So, you know what? Maybe that's an idea for a future video. Books that are, just under 800. If that makes a difference for you. I don't know. Okay, so let's start with, what should we start with? I tried to get a wide variety of things. Let's start with a pretty interesting book that goes along with my love of Russian history and intellectual history. This is G.M. Hamburg's Russia's Path Toward Enlightenment. Faith, Politics, and Reason, 1500 to 1801. This is put out from Yale University Press. I probably bought this during one of their sales. It's a naked dust cover here, or naked jacket. And this book logs in. Final tally on this is almost 900. It's like 890. It might be 900. Just shy of 900. It's a biggie. I'll just try to go through these kind of quickly. This book, focusing on the history of religious and political thinking in early modern Russia, demonstrates that Russia's path toward enlightenment began long before Peter the Great's opening to the West. Examining a broad range of writings, G.M. Hamburg shows why Russia's enlightenment constituted a precondition for the explosive emergence of 19th century writers such as Fyodor Dostoevsky and Vladimir Soloviev. Oh, and here's our author. This came out. You might be able to find it at your. Well, I don't know if your library will. This seems kind of arcane, but this came out in 2016. So I either picked it up at a sale, or I might have gotten it off of Hamilton Book. Sometimes they have university press books, like really heavy academic books will sometimes end up at hamiltonbook.com. And if you use their advanced search, their advanced filter, okay, get in there. Dig around in the advanced search, the power search. You can search by publisher. So I can browse all day on Hamilton Book just using that feature. But yeah, you'll find university press books sometimes just end up dumping into their warehouse, and you can pick them up for like $10, sometimes less. But this one's a big one if you're interested. And that's the name of the game in this video. Cats and kittens. Big history. All right. Oh, there's Roxy. They're D and the B. They are watching for Martine's imminent return. Next book logs in at. Oh shoot! I almost swore. I did bring up a book that was was going to be an honorable mention. Let's say I want to. You know what? No, I want to be true to the rules of the game here. The next book. I keep meaning to start this book. And I really can't, I really want to get into it. I've seen this a couple years ago. Everyone was reading it on BookTube, but this is Fatal Discord. Erasmus, Luther, and the Fight for the Western Mind by Michael Massing. This was put out by HarperCollins. It's a big book. I think this goes over, it's almost 1,000 pages. About 987. That includes the index, okay? But that's what I'm going by. And just the whole entire book is over 800 pages. So, what does it say here? Erasmus was the leading figure of the Northern Renaissance at a time when Leonardo, Michelangelo, and Raphael were revolutionizing Western art and culture. Where are you guys going? Okay. Erasmus was helping transform Europe's intellectual and religious life, developing a new design for living for a continent rebelling against the hierarchical constraints of the Roman Church. When he came out with a revised edition of the New Testament in 1516 based on the original Greek, he was hailed as the prophet of a new enlightened age. Today, however, Erasmus is largely forgotten, and the reason can be summed up in 2 words: Martin Luther. As a young friar in remote Wittenberg, Luther was initially a great admirer of Erasmus and his diagnosis of what ailed the Catholic Church. But while Erasmus sought to reform that institution from within, Luther favored a more radical transformation. Eventually, the differences between them flared into a rancorous competition, with each trying to win over Europe to his vision. So, in Fatal Discord, Michael Massing seeks to restore Erasmus to his proper place in the Western tradition. The conflict between him and Luther, he argues, represents not just the clash of 2 headstrong individuals, but also of 2 distinct worldviews. Erasmus, the humanist, embracing the brotherhood of man and the diversity of cultures within it, and Luther, the evangelical, stressing God's power and Christ's divinity, insisting that all recognize those beliefs as absolute and binding. Massing argues that their conflict forms a fault line in Western thinking. The moment when 2 central schools of thought, Christian humanism and evangelical Christianity, took shape. A seasoned journalist who has reported on war and peace, political and social issues, Massing here travels back to the early 16th century to recover a story that helps explain our current fractured world. A moment when the introduction of new ways of reading the Bible set loose social and cultural forces that helped shatter the millennial unity of Christendom, and whose echoes still resound. Massing concludes, well, I hope it's not a spoiler, just kidding. Massing concludes that Europe has gravitated toward a form of Erasmian humanism, and America has been shaped by Luther-inspired individualism. Yes, so I want to get to these books so badly. Okay, I'm going to have to figure out what I'm doing here with my schedule. Oh, but anyway, I wanted to offer this up as a possibility for any of you out there looking for a potential read in the next few weeks. And the beauty of the event, March of the Mammoths, is, it's not like you have to finish the dang book at the end of the month. You just start reading it. You could take all year if you wanted. I give you permission. One moment. All right, sorry about that. I just had to adjust the light a little bit. Ooh. So, for you really, really adventurous types, those of you who are not intimidated by book size, book length, this book logs in at 1,050 pages. Are you ready for this history? I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I'm going to bring it to you anyway. This is David Abulafia, the master The man who knows how to write histories about water. What am I talking about? Bodies of water. I'm talking about The Boundless Sea, A Human History of the Oceans. Look at this beast. It's from Oxford University Press. Okay, 1,050. I also have his other book downstairs, right next to it, right next to this one downstairs, and it's his History of the Mediterranean. And I was going to include both of these books, but that one actually is slightly less than 800 pages. This is the bad boy. This is a human history of all the oceans. So let's take a look-see. Well, the oceans, and then you got the seas, Mediterranean Sea, whatever. All right, together, the Pacific, the Indian, and the Atlantic Oceans cover more than half of the Earth's surface and constitute the vast majority of its water. Over the millennia, as human passage across them gradually extended, linking first islands and then continents, maritime networks grew. Local exploration led to expanding lines of regional communication and commerce, which eventually became major arteries. These waterways carried goods, plants, livestock, and of course people, free and enslaved, across huge expanses, ultimately linking and transforming the economies and cultures of Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Americas. So let me just read here. The Boundless Sea expertly and entertainingly guides readers along these great bodies of water, from the earliest forays of peoples in hand-hewn canoes 180,000 years ago, to the routes now taken daily and by supertankers in the thousands. Abulafia, whose acclaimed previous work was A Human History of the Mediterranean Sea, that's what I just mentioned, reveals here the full extent of his global reach, offering a dazzling narrative of human civilization through time and ocean currents. It's substantial, but it is interspersed with some, color art and photos. Oh, man, it's a beautiful book. How does one write a book this long? I don't even get how some of these historians do it. It's amazing. But hey, if you're into maritime history and, trading networks and things like that, this might be the book for you. And good luck to you, because it's a beast. It's over 1,000. Okay. We have to have a Civil War book in here. We just have to. This is history in the sense that it captures personal correspondence of the subject. I have dipped into this book. It's, reading a collection of letters. Sometimes you don't, it's not a, cover to end book, you're reading it front to cover, all that kind of stuff. But, just waiting to see if she pulls up, because as soon as she pulls up, they're going to start barking. This is Sherman's Civil War, Selected Correspondence of William T. Sherman, 1860 to 65, edited by Brooks D. Simpson and Jean V. Berlin. I got this book a long time ago, and I don't know where I got it, but I was so happy to pick this up. University of North Carolina Press. And this one logs in 948 pages. It's a biggie. Let's see. This is the first major modern edition of General William T. Sherman's wartime correspondence. This volume features more than 400 letters, both personal and official, written between the election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860 and the day Sherman bade farewell to his troops in 1865. Together, they trace Sherman's rise from obscurity to become one of the Union's most famous and effective warriors. Arranged chronologically and grouped into chapters that correspond to significant phases in Sherman's life, these letters many of which, have never been published, reveal the general's thoughts on politics, military operations, slavery, and emancipation, the South, and daily life in the Union Army, as well as his reactions to such important figures as General Ulysses Grant and President Lincoln. Each chapter begins with a brief overview of events and includes annotations, which are always helpful, that clarify references in the letters themselves. I think Daisy's going to bark. I'm sorry again for the interruption. Hang on. Okay, we're back, and I just wanted to show you some of the beautiful, wonderful photographs that accompany the text of these letters. I love the pictures of the children. These are his 4 daughters here. And here's Sherman with his boy, Thomas Ewing Sherman. There's a lot of photos in here, but yeah. If you like Civil War history and you enjoy reading letters and kind of like the day-to-day accounts of, how he got into the war, his early brush with everyone saying he was mad or crazy, and then how he just kind of rebounded from that. This gives you a really personal look inside. The things he shared with his family, his friends, his acquaintances, Grant, the people he trusted. So this is a great volume, and it's a keeper. Like I said, I like Brooks D. Simpson. I remember reading his first volume of a biography of sorts on Ulysses Grant. I don't think he ever finished the second volume. I think he just gave up on that project, unless it was just supposed to be for a certain set of years. But anyway, I think it was called Triumph Over Adversity. Yeah, so he's one of the editors on here. But yeah, this will be something I keep returning to. All right. Now we're going to go back to, let's see. Oh, we got that. We got this. Let's go over here. I got this book, maybe a few years ago, 3 years ago. It came out in 2021. Okay. It is a beast of a book. It is, it's not a beast. The biggest beast is Abulafia's history, The Boundless Sea. But this one is almost 900 pages, and it's The Age of Decadence, History of Britain, 1880 to 1914 by Simon Heffer. It's put out by Pegasus Books, again, 2021. It's really lightweight for something so big. So I can tell they kind of skimped on the end boards here. The cardboard is really lightweight, and the paper is that what kind of paper is this? That it's not heavy stock. This is the kind that will yellow over time, and I don't really care for that type of paper. I like the type of paper that it's a different type of grain, and it should say what kind of paper this was printed on, right? But yeah, because it's a super big book, but it's super lightweight, so it doesn't quite seem sturdy enough, but it is. Let's see here. The popular memory of Britain in the years before the Great Wars of a powerful, orderly, and thriving country. Britain commanded a vast empire. She bestrode international commerce. Her citizens were living longer, profiting from civil liberties their grandparents only dreamed of, and enjoying an expanding range of comforts and pastimes. The mood of pride and self-confidence can be seen in Edward Elgar's Pomp and Circumstance marches, newsreels of George V's coronation, and London's great Edwardian palaces. Yet beneath the surface, things were very different, as they often are. The Age of Decadence, Simon Heffer exposes the contradictions of late Victorian and Edwardian Britain. He explains how, despite the nation's massive power, a mismanaged war against the Boers in South Africa created profound doubts about her imperial destiny. He shows how attempts to secure vital social reforms prompted the 20th century's gravest constitutional crisis and coincided with the worst industrial unrest in British history. He describes how politicians conceded the vote to millions of men but disregarded women so utterly that female suffragists' public protests bordered on terrorism. Finally, Heffer depicts a ruling class that fell prey to degeneracy and scandal, while his narrative pointedly reveals the story of a national psyche that embraced the motor car, the sensationalist press, and the science fiction of H.G. Wells, but also the nostalgia of A.E. Housman. And that's the end of that. I thought there was more on the other side. Yeah. So, it's got some stuff in the center here, as usual. It's interesting to me. I haven't begun it yet, but I know I do want to get to it. I've read... How much have I read there? Oh, right, Simon Heffer. I've collected a couple of books by him. I think I picked up his book. No, I think I'm trying to find a copy of his book on Thomas Carlyle, Moral Desperado, A Life of Thomas Carlyle. Oh, I have High Minds, The Victorians and the Birth of Modern Britain. Oh, I didn't know this. This book here, it says in the back, is his first history book to be published in America. I had no idea. All right. Daisy. So here you go. That's what we're looking at right here. Let me turn another lamp on. It's getting dark out. Daisy! Hold. Okay, we're back. And it's life. This is real life. I'm not trying to hide anything or try to... This is what real life looks like for millions of people, and I just thought you should know that. Life is not a jump cut filled with a beautiful, moving, powerful soundtrack. It's these moments of awkwardness. Anyway, so we're going to go back to... the next book I have to show you is also a book of a collection of letters. This came out in 2018, and I wanted to get it. At the time I was writing, I think I was about to do a paper for one of my college courses. What was it? Oh, I don't know what it was. Maybe I heard about this book during some research I was doing, and I wanted to get it just for research purposes. But anyway, this is the Kremlin letters. Stalin's wartime correspondence with Churchill and Roosevelt by David Reynolds and Vladimir Pechatnov. I got that. Yeah, pretty big book. Another great Yale University press book. I might have gotten this either. I think I might have gotten it from Hamilton Books, or I might have. They might have had a sale or some. I don't know. Oh, darn it! Sorry, guys. Oh, I had two books in this stack that were going to be honorable mentions. This is not. Martine's home. This is 660 pages. This does not count. Yeah. Hang on. Well, guys, I led you astray on that one, and I am really, really sorry. But hey, you got a sneak peek. So I added one back in when I just paused it just now to kind of make up for the two books. Well, the one book that snuck in and the one I almost showed you that was almost 800 pages. Either way, the Kremlin letters, it's worth your time and money. So this next book I have is is part of the Oxford History of the United States. I am rocking, by the way, the Jo Beth Williams streak of white now. When she was at the end of Poltergeist. So I'm not sure what happened. Something must have frightened me. I am rocking. Watch Poltergeist all the way through. And then when you see Jo Beth Williams at the end, you'll be like, that's Peg. Peg at the history shelf's got that big old white streak in her hair. We've got From Colony to Superpower U.S. Foreign Relations since 1776. This is by George C. Herring. As you can see, again, part of the Oxford History of the United States, that series, that August series. Big book, big chunkster, as we like to call them in the industry, us book readers. Chunker or chunksters? I don't know. Is one more offensive than the other? I don't know. I think chunkster, right? I think that one's okay. This kind of, it looks almost like it, well, it probably is used in college courses. It looks like a big old textbook. But it was the winner of the Robert H. Farrell Book Award of the Society for Historians of American Foreign Relations and a finalist for the 2008 National Book Critics Circle Award for Nonfiction. Yeah. From colony to superpower. So you can see, here's the whole list of the Oxford History of the United States titles. I have Empire of Liberty. I think I've got The Glorious Cause as well. Yeah, it's kind of just, I think I have almost all of them. Ooh. I don't think I have Grand Expectations. I have Battle Cry for Freedom. I have Freedom from Fear. So yeah, this kind of rounds out my collection of the Oxford History of the United States titles, which has grown since this book came out, obviously. I believe there's an Ian Kershaw book that did not hit 800 pages, but it's behind my head, The Global Age. Or the Global, yeah. Where are you? Oh. I can't even sometimes keep track of my books. So, but yeah, it's From Colony to Superpower, U.S. Foreign Relations since 1776. So it looks to be like a good read. So, if you're interested, for your consideration, as it were. Now we're getting down to some good stuff. I'm going to go back to the Civil War real quick. This is the one I'm replacing the Kremlin Letters with. I bought this used. I wanted a hard copy of this book. I kind of like the this edition. It is a 1982 hardcover edition of this. I've seen it a few times in different places, and they do have a copy of this at Second and Charles. But I ordered it online, third party, and I got this beautiful. It's in really sturdy shape. But who doesn't want to read a historical diary set in the Civil War? And when you think of Civil War diaries, who do you think of? I'm waiting. Yeah, you're right. It's Mary Chestnut. Mary Chestnut Civil War, edited by C. Van Woodward, winner of the 1982 Pulitzer Prize in History. Isn't this a beautiful edition? Look at this. It's an old, Yale doesn't even have a logo like this anymore. From 1982. Yeah. It's just gorgeous. I mean, look at it. I mean, yeah, they even got the portraits, like reproductions of her actual diary pages. How cool is that? Portraits, Mulberry Plantation. Come on up. We have a special guest here. I'm surprising you guys with all sorts of things today. New intro. But yeah, this book weighs in at 886 pages. Now that includes the index, but I'm just counting all of it. Okay. Mary Chestnut Civil War. Her diary, which many of you remember from Ken Burns's famous documentary, The Civil War, which I think is coming up on some type of anniversary. I saw somewhere on the tubes, on the feeds out there, that someone was interviewing Ken Burns for like a retrospective of that documentary. So, yeah. But yeah, her voice, like who voiced her in the documentary? I can see this actress's face. I just can't remember her name. But yeah, We've got all of it here. Good stuff. All right, so that comes in at over almost 900 pages. I'm going to pause. Stay tuned for a very special guest. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Look who's here!
Goldie!
Did you guys think she just wasn't here anymore?
Goldie! Goldie's been here the whole time.
I wasn't talking about Goldie.
This is our fourth dog.
Well, she's our first as far as who was around first. Oh, baby.
She was our second.
Well, Gidget, yeah. Baby girl, come and give me a kiss.
Get away from me. She's our Dame Maggie Smith. But I wanted to bring up something because there's a video of yours playing downstairs. And you had just talked about...
Well, I tell people at home why my video... I'm not watching my videos.
The dogs are watching the video.
She likes... Like, if I'm up here working and she leaves, she'll play...
I just went to pick up the groceries.
She'll play my... I told people, that because Daisy was waiting for you out, looking out the window.
But she didn't want to come with me.
She didn't... Yeah, she'll play video so that they can hear my voice or something if they're hanging out down there.
It's a rare occurrence.
I'm not a narcissist.
No, and we're not driving viewer count either. The thing that I've been fascinated by, and I can't remember who said it, but their dog Brody was fascinated by the video that you published
little
yesterday.
Brody.
And so I tried showing it for the dogs, and Daisy seemed to recognize that it was her. Roxy seemed to recognize that it was her, but that she was doing something perhaps bad, and so she was like, wagging your tail like that. But that's the only reason why that's specific. And then I left to pick up the groceries, and the other videos came on. This is what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
This is all to say that you were talking about Tom Holland.
I showed a book of his
called Pax or something.
Pax.
He said he liked Nero.
He did like. Well, yeah. He says that he gets a bad rap.
And you missed a whole pun, which
okay.
I thought that you would appreciate.
Yes, tell me.
You could say that he had a Nero worship. I'll go now.
Get out.
That was
Get out.
That was a whole PBS, SNL, PBS Shreddy Balls.
That was a Shreddy Ball moment, you know?
Soup. Oh, I love soup.
Love soup. I should have said that. That was ingenious.
It was right there.
It was right there. You would have grasped it and ran with it.
Well, I did. That's why I was like,
Tom Holland has Nero worship.
He has Nero worship.
Goldie's down impressed, as you can see. Now the other three are dying for attention down here.
Goldie is never impressed.
Yeah, so this is kind of a strange video. Thanks for hanging out with us. But this is a surprise visit from Martine and Goldie.
I just came to visit. I live in Tennessee now.
She lives in Tennessee. She does not live in Tennessee. Do you want to say anything else to your adoring fans?
Goldie.
I want to be alone.
If Goldie could do the Queen wave, she would.
She would.
Hi guys, how's it going? I can't believe it's spring already.
Yeah.
Looking forward to not having the storms like we had last year.
Yeah. We're supposed to get rain and snow this week, Thursday night.
It looks like there's weather coming in.
Yeah.
It's always hard to tell in Colorado.
Well, I was telling everyone here, well, I told you the purpose of this video, so we'll get back to the books. Do you want us to hang out for 2 more books?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm going to end on a big bang, but I've got one more. The penultimate book.
You are in a weird mood.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're like, penultimate book about... I see what you're going to be talking about.
That's not that. I'm saving that for last.
Oh, it's even better.
This, my friends, I have collected a few of the works now of William Shirer, and many of you know his most famous work, which was the fall of the...
I love that you look at me like I might know. The Fall of the Shire by William Shirer.
Oh my God! It's the book on the Nazis, the fall of the Third Reich, or something like that.
That one book on the Nazis. Were that only the case?
Listen, but this is I have a nice set of some of his memoirs from the era. I've got two volumes, and they're right over there. That was three volumes. He wrote a trilogy. It was his diaries or something like that.
It was 7.
Oh, can you believe the other day? And by the way, everybody, I'm quite aware that I stepped in it when I was showing off books.
I'm looking at your shoes right now.
I was showing off 3 books that I got called the Raj Quartet. And I'm like, look, I have the trilogy. I have the trilogy, guys. Even after saying the word quartet. Look, sometimes I go a little too fast and I don't catch myself.
Peggy's new obsession is London fog. And I think she's been over-fogging it.
London fog tea. Look at all that milk and...
It's at this point in the evening, it's 90% syrup.
It's not. I just put a couple pumps of the no. I put as much in as the baristas do. Otherwise, it's Earl Grey tea with some milk and a little shot of vanilla.
Do you want to leave? Does Goldie want to?
You don't want to hear about the collapse of the Third Republic?
No, she's above such things, and I don't blame her.
Well, this is I could only find this book in the condition that it's in. No dust jacket, beat up, and it's a very but it's one of those classic books. Like it came out, this edition from Simon & Schuster, 1969. I love having old books.
I think I remember when you got this, actually.
Yeah. Look at this. Collapse of the Third Republic. And the subtitle is An Inquiry into the Fall of France in 1940. And someone, the library sticker's covering his name up. But it's William Shirer. Here you go. William L. Shirer. This.
My hat. Okay, I'll be right
back. Oh, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. That's the book I was talking about. Where are you going?
My hat.
Her hat. Sorry for the discombobulated nature of this video, but hey,
sorry.
She's back. So I just kind of wanted to have this book to kind of complete my collection of his works. It's all about the fall of the Third Republic. I don't have any other things to say, and I haven't started it yet, but yeah. So, okay. So, I should say, because the point of this video is books that are bigger than 800 pages.
Show the back, though. That's cool.
I
love it when they have those.
Yeah, this is kind of like a capsule. Yeah. What is you kids out there, 23 and under?
Understand. In the days before
what is
barcodes.
This? What is this? What is this strange contraption?
One of my jobs at the Lewis and Clark Library was to stick those barcodes on all the books in the stacks and scan them all in.
Oh, but I'm even just talking about the library card holder, man. Yep. That is.
Yep.
And look what this nice person did, because they didn't have. Oh, I could have read from this. I didn't realize. Maybe the dust jacket was.
Did you know that there were 4 books in that set?
You're funny. So the dust jacket must have been really ripped up, but the person took the time to cut out the and paste it in, so you can actually read about the book.
Which we're not going to do, having called that out.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to read the whole thing,
guys.
But it is the story of how France fell before Hitler's armies in 1940, told against the background which alone can help to explain it. Shirer has described the final battle in exciting chapters full of new and surprising facts. Well, this was written in 1969. So, there's Daisy. All right.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to end on a really, really big whopper of a book. And let me just forewarn you, if I'm not saying that you should, I'm not suggesting you read this book. It is good to have, I think it's good to have this book in your library. Just don't make any jokes just yet. 1 second. I know you're going there. I just want to say, this is a trigger warning. If you are, kind of just, kind of can't handle things, dealing with violence and death and cruelty and things like this.
Why are you watching this video?
She's funny. I'll just say this, reading this book, you might want to kill yourself after reading it.
Oh my God, honey.
Well,
no, that's not what I was going to say. I was going to say that this is a great this is a great book to put in the lobby of a house, especially if you're expecting your in-laws over. Along with some random volumes about the occult. Anyway, continue.
Oh, she's making a private joke there.
A little bit. But
all right. This is considered a classic in the field because it is comprehensive. It collects all of the files, the information. It is exhausting, literally and figuratively, in its detail. This is the Black Book of Communism: Crimes, Terror, Repression.
woo!
You can only find this used, and I got a fairly good copy.
The rest have been burned.
Well, no, I mean, it's okay. Tony Jute wrote a blurb for the New York Times, an 800-page compendium, although my volume, oh, look at another one, another library card holder. That is fantastic. This book is about 858 pages.
Pages about human unity and
Not about
the
that.
power of the individual.
Let's see. Okay, so my edition is from 1 moment. This is a second printing. 1999. It was first published in France, so it was translated, obviously. It was first published in 1997. But it says, already famous throughout Europe, this international bestseller plumbs recently opened archives in the former Soviet bloc to reveal the actual practical accomplishments of communism around the world. Terror, torture, famine, mass deportations, and massacres. Astonishing in the sheer detail it amasses, the book is the first comprehensive attempt to catalog and analyze the crimes of communism over 70 years. I can't even get the words out because it's so horrible.
To put it in a coloring book format, and it just didn't work.
It didn't work, but and that's where I'm at in the book. Okay, yeah.
Fun.
You have to take this book in small doses. I'm reading it very slowly because, like I said, you don't want to. The human being with a heart, mind, and soul can only stand so much of that. As Clementine would say.
If the weather gets real cold, just put it on the fire, and it's no problem at all.
Clementine would say from Reno now. You don't deserve that. No one knows what we're talking about.
But if anybody has watched Reno 911, Peggy's sister looks a lot like Clementine from Reno 911.
She's
Wendy
nothing like
McLennan.
Clementine. Yeah.
But she makes the same face. She does kind of look.
She does not. She's not that character who is,
No, she's not the character, but she does look like.
Yeah.
We've been rewatching.
Yeah, Reno 911 is good for some easy laughs.
Especially after reading a book like
Yeah,
that.
but hey, you know what? I thought I'd throw something out there you weren't expecting. Not many people have this book, I don't think. But let me know what you think.
Again, your new in-laws or prospective in-laws coming over, just put it right there. See if it might be a conversation starter. You
Could
never
be.
know.
Or they could make a hasty exit.
And take their daughter with them.
And take their daughter. Meaning me?
No, meaning anybody. Not meaning you. That's your book. I should have run screaming when I saw it. Anyway. Oh, I just wanted to say,
nice.
I've been really getting into, I've gone on a Poirot tear, and I've now listened and read all of the books since we last spoke, and short stories. And I've gone through some P.D. James, and I just finished The Strain.
Yeah, she's been going really, really hardcore into the audiobooks.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Yeah. I'm going to start one about Garfield next.
Oh, about President Garfield?
Yeah. Oh, and then I also listened to On Hallowed Ground about the creation of Arlington National Cemetery. Well recommended. Mm-hmm. Great book.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? Bowles, I think?
I forget the name.
Great.
Well, thanks for joining us here, Martine.
You're welcome, Peggy.
Here on NPR Radio. Yeah, now it's time for dinner. It's been a long day.
And what are you having for dinner?
I'm having meatloaf.
Yeah.
How's that? Good. And what are you having?
Ziti.
And there you have it. you can only eat so much Italian, and I've kind of gone overboard on the Italian. I'm getting heartburn. So time to switch back to the meat and potatoes.
Well, I showed it to the dogs, and they are all over it.
Oh, these dogs.
Anyway.
And thanks for all the love out there for our little quick video of the puppies.
4 of them, not 3.
We have 4.
3 would be easy. 4 makes it a challenge.
And, yeah. They're equivalent to about, what, two toddlers? The amount of work that goes into just managing 4 animals running around looking to be entertained all the time and fed and pampered.
Yeah. Maybe 3. I don't know.
Waking you up in the middle of the night. Why did we do this, honey? Why did we do it?
Because we didn't have children, and that was stupid. Because at this point, the children would be toddler or would be teenagers and would be working at a grocery store and could be useful at this point.
They could be.
Yeah.
They could be contributing, right?
Or sold into child labor.
There's that.
Yeah.
There's that. Well,
nobody wants these suckers. I've tried.
No.
Not free shipping.
No free shipping.
Yeah, I tried.
Well, thanks for sticking around, guys, if you did stick around. I hope you enjoy March of the Mammoths this year. I hope.
I thought that was all exciting. I thought that was about mammoths, and I was going to get... No.
Mammoth means it's a mammoth book.
I was thinking woolly.
Yeah, that's not that. So, but anyway, hope you...
Maybe there's a mammoth book about mammoths.
There probably is.
There's a mammoth book.
We can go down that rabbit hole.
David Mammoth book.
She's spinning out into the universe, everybody. Let's pull her back in. Okay. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining us. I hope these books give you some, maybe it's just something you want to look into. Maybe not.
They make really good door stoppers too. Or toe breakers, depending on, where you leave them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, on that note,
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. Come back to the history shelf.
Or don't.
No.
No.
Come back to the history shelf.
Are we ever going to get back to Marple?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to say when, because every time I say, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So I'm going to go. Do you have any more?
Oh, I'm just going to hang out.
Do you have any more ripostes?
Ripostes? No.
Bon mots?
Always.
Bon mot? Is it a bon mot or a bon mot?
Who knows?
Okay, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back soon here at the History Shelf. Bye.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.